Internet. Happy Monday. Happy May 11th. Almost halfway through May. It's halfway through May is pretty incredible. Hope you had a beautiful weekend and a wonderful Mother's Day, and however you celebrated, whether you were privileged enough to spend time with your mom and with your family, or if you simply gave them all a phone call. I hope you were at least able to do that much. Call all the mothers in your life. It's pretty important, especially during this time. I spent some time with my family, pretty grateful for that. Not just my own mother, but also with my sister, who's a mother of 3. So I got to spend some time with my nephew and my 2 nieces. Got some pool sunshine time. You may see a different color on my face now because of the sun. So yeah, we're back. It's time to get back to work. For a lot of the world, we're getting back to where we were before, which was restaurants are starting to open, retail shops are starting to open. At least here in Nevada, the governor has started to lift, or we've gone into phase 1 of being able to open up some of our businesses, of course, at limited capacity. But it's still all the same. So life is starting to get back. You may have different opinions on that, and I hold space for everybody's viewpoint and level of comfort with it. So I am not here today to talk about the politics of that, but just to congratulate everybody that is feeling better about where the world is going and getting back on track. Today, what I want to talk about is the supply chain of tea in producing countries such as India and China. Overall, the past week or so, all of the articles that I've been sharing and all of the updates I've been sharing with you all have all been kind of bleak in talking about limited production for multiple reasons. Some of it may be from lockdown itself, from not being able to have your labor force out, or it's from logistical issues. So sometimes the tea is being produced, but then it's not able to make it out. I read a story from yesterday, a tea factory in India that had been producing tea. I think it was about 15 tons of tea that they've produced and was ready for getting out into the market, which they couldn't hire any trucks to get it away from the factory to the market. So, and then the final reason, of course, is the market itself. The market is starting to slow down, and thank you, Shane. The market is starting to slow down, and prices are going down. There's uncertainty in the market. Maybe tea suppliers don't have the cash flow to purchase new teas, so it is very likely that you're not going to be seeing a whole lot of 2020 teas on the market due to various complications due to the pandemic. And there's no need to worry. We could say there's reason to worry, but then we can also say that there's reason to find positivity and opportunity in everything that's always happening to us, not just this specific thing. And so, that's always been our culture here at Tealet, is to remind us of what to be grateful of and how we can achieve that gratitude. And drinking tea, of course, is one of those things. Hi, Nick. Good to see you. Much blessings to you, brother. I can't wait until we can spend some time together, drink some tea together. I hope you're doing well with your wood. You've been doing a lot of woodcraft. That's great. So yeah, that's basically the update now. I've been kind of filtering through all of the news articles, and they pretty much are revolving around the same idea of limited supply and challenges to supply. And this is not just the case in tea. There's a big conversation happening around the meat industry in this. So I think it's a very complicated, complex issue that we are going to, um, continue to see happening. So the positivity that I want to share with you is that just because there's not 2020 teas, there's still plenty of other tea, either here in the U.S. or in your local markets wherever you are. And so today, I want to talk about age of tea and the importance of freshness, and when we should deem a tea undrinkable, if we ever should deem a tea undrinkable, just in case you're having any hesitations with drinking teas from earlier years or even purchasing teas from earlier years. It's okay, you can laugh at me, Nick. I've got like rosy cheeks today, so you can laugh all you want. So I figured to start this conversation, the tea that I would brew and drink with you all is an old tea, a very old tea, and a tea that many people. Oh, you got some 2020 Shincha. Yeah, Terry, you're lucky. Not everybody is able to import the new teas. And so if your favorite tea merchant is not having the new teas, I would like to encourage you not to shame them for not having the fresh teas, because it's very expensive, especially something like Shincha. And yeah, this is really early to have Shincha. I mean, even in Japan, the good quality Shinchas are not even really, I guess maybe like last week they started to produce it. It's really expensive to import Shincha. The wholesale price, even from the factory, is really high. And that's just because the inherent value of the new tea in Japan is high. So everybody has to pay that same price. And then typically a tea company is not going to be buying huge quantities of these teas because they are so expensive, and so that makes the logistics expensive too. And cash flow has definitely been a challenge for small businesses right now. So, Terry, you're very, I could see your gratitude for getting access to some 2020 Shincha. But wherever you are, if your local tea shop or your local tea vendor is not providing those types of teas, I would like to caution you from criticizing them and having patience with them as they're trying to navigate through this process, because it is really expensive. I mean, I would say for bringing in Shincha, you would need to have a couple of $1,000s on hand ready to just deploy to bring in some tea that may not return that much profit to you. And in a time of very tight cash flow and other issues, it's a challenge. So that's why I want to talk about age in tea today. And so the tea I'm going to drink today is actually from 2012. It's 8 years old tea, and it's actually from an old package. This is the second logo that Tealit went to, the second logo iteration. Sorry, you can get some glare in there. You can see, there we go. This was the packaging that we used to do when we were retail only. And so this is like an old pack of tea. It's not for sale. It's just like in my old retention reserves. And this is a white tea, a rendition of a Bai Mundan from India. This tea wasn't particularly, great back then, but it was drinkable. It was an enjoyable white tea. Had a little bit of a sharpness to it, but I love it. Has our Eva Beach address on this label. This is a very old label. But yeah, this was just like in a retention. So Dobra is actually a franchise started in the Czech Republic. And it's a very big franchise in Europe. There's, I don't know how many outlets. I think there's like 76 in total throughout the world. So yeah, Dobra is a big company and they have big buying power. So it's possible that as a company as a whole, they are able to leverage some buying. But I believe Dobra also does have a lot of autonomy between all of um, uh, Dobra does have a lot of autonomy between the different shop owners. So I know a lot of their sourcing is pretty independent. So it could be a one off thing, and they could have possibly only brought in like a kilo of it. I remember the first year I started tea led, I was very excited about the Shincha season because, of course, I studied tea in Japan and I was there for the Shincha season. So I was swept in the excitement, and I put all this money together and I went and bought all these teas and I brought them back, and that was a lot of money needed for that. That was pretty much all the money I spent for my buying that year because it's Shincha. It's a high value. It's very exciting. I got access to it, and I brought it back, and like it totally didn't sell. It wasn't valued in the market here as much as it is in Japan, and so I ended up losing a lot of money, which was really unfortunate and difficult to deal with. But um, so actually I haven't brought in Shincha since that year, just because it was such a hard lesson to learn. And Sencha in general also doesn't have much value here. There's value in it as like just a general Japanese green tea, but the restaurants or the general tea buyers that we deal with are just as happy to order a sencha, like a very low grade sencha, from from like Kagoshima or from like a big factory. Yeah, Tommy, you learn as you go. Yeah, so I just like I don't want to deal in those factory teas. We don't deal in those factory teas, and we don't even deal in the lower grade, lower priced teas that would be competitive in the sencha market here in North America. But it's very good that matcha, good quality matcha, authentic good quality matcha is appreciated, as well as other teas such as kuki-cha and maicha and hojicha. But like the sencha is just such a difficult market to deal in, and so yeah, we don't do too much work with those types of teas, and especially with the shincha, because it's a lot of money. So yes, this 2012 by Mudan, it's pretty broken up, just because of storage. I had it stored in like a box, just in one of the tea closets where I have like a bunch of just odds and ends teas that are not for sale or just collection of tea over time. Yeah, I've heard of Andrew, and that's how I heard that there's kind of autonomy between the different stores, that they kind of do their own buying. But I believe that there is some, to some degree, and maybe Andrew, if he comes through, can verify this. But I believe that there's some collective, not only branding power but buying power within the central Dobra brand, which is much bigger in Europe than it is here in the States. But there's Dobras even in other parts, not just in Asheville. There's one in Ashland, which is in Oregon. I've been to that one. That's the only one I've been to. But I've definitely have heard about the one in Asheville and have heard very good things about it. Yes. So yes, I'm going to get to brewing. I didn't wait. I just eyeballed it. That's how I usually do it. So Tommy on Instagram says that he's seen that Bai Budans do age interestingly. I find all white teas to age interestingly. And not all white teas are the same. Bai Budan is it is one of the more premium, processes. Portland Mangus, you're right. It does have like a mustiness to it that I'm not remembering. I think the last time I drank this tea was probably in 2013 or 2014. It's been that long, kind of just sitting in the closet. It definitely doesn't smell bad. It's not like a bad kind of musty. It's just like it's what you would expect, you know. And I've smelt this same note from other aged teas that just haven't been touched. Um, but yeah, Bai Mudan is one of the higher grades of white tea. It's usually made from the two leaves in a bud set, not just the bud. So like the silver needle is just the bud and no processing to it. But Bai Mudan does have a very slight roll to it, which does initiate some limited oxidation. But there is very little leaf breakage. I mean, the breakage that's seen here is just from the years of being in this small bag and however many moves that box that this bag was in had to go through. Probably accounted for some of the breakage in this leaf. So I just had poured some hot water in my pitcher here just to reduce the temp a little bit, not too much. It's I'm not measuring the temperature here, but the water is just freshly boiled. It's still quite warm. I would think that the water is at maybe like 185 or 190. I probably didn't need to lower the temperature, but I just kind of did it out of habit. With white teas, you can brew them with hot water. They're not like green teas. Yeah, so there's a lot of breakage here I'm seeing, which means it's probably going to brew pretty quickly. So maybe I'll brew it for a little less time. Probably should have my filter here. I don't have one, so I find that if I don't have a filter, I can just crack the gaiwan just the slightest amount to get it to keep the leaves from coming out. It's looking like it has a nice color. The only issue when you pour the gaiwan like this with it just with the slight crack, it does take a little bit longer for it to pour. But that's okay. I got it all emptied out. When you're brewing the gaiwan, as well as with any teaware, it's really important to empty out all of your hot water, so that the tea doesn't continue to brew, while it's sitting here while we're talking. And you see the brew, so you can see all the pekoe. The pekoe is like the pubescence, all of the hairs, which is typical of white tea. You're going to get a really nice quality white tea when you're using the really supple young buds that are full of the little white hairs. And that's exactly what like silver needle is. It's silver because of all of those little white hairs. And a craftsman tea farmer and tea maker will really focus on keeping those hairs intact. So taking a whiff. It's definitely less flowery than I remember. Gotta try the gaiwan. It's less flowery, but it's almost fruity now. But not like deep fruit. So like a lot of times with tea, we'll use the word fruity to mean like higher degree of oxidation, and it's typically like stone fruit type of a character, like a deeper, richer fruitiness to it. This is kind of a light fruitiness, like berries or something like that. Hmm. It's definitely drinkable. And that was like the whole point that I wanted to get to with talking on this subject was the drinkability of teas from last year or even from 5 years ago or from 8 years ago. It Yeah, it's not as like aromatic because that's what I remembered about this tea from when we were first working with it was that it was really aromatic and kind of fun and light. It has like a heavierness to it, a heaviness to it, heavierness. It has a heaviness to it and a richer texture to it, almost like oily in its texture, which is good. Like oily tea texture is actually usually a pretty good character. But like the terroir of this tea and the craftsmanship of this tea is not something of excellence. This was a very affordable tea even back whenever we first had brought it in. Um, but I feel like it's kind of increased in its character, and the most important thing is that it's still drinkable. And so yeah, if you have a tea like this in your collection, or even if someone's trying to sell you a tea like this, I wouldn't, I wouldn't suggest that you immediately write it off. Like I think you should, give it some time, try it out, and just like with any other tea, if it's something that you connect with, then you should definitely go for it. I'm gonna try to get a second steep out of it and see. You can see. There definitely hasn't been any kind of like oxidation change to the leaf. It's still, very fresh looking. I don't know if fresh is the right word, but it's still looking like the color it was looking like. White teas can ferment and change just like pu'er teas. I mean, any tea can really do that. It's not exclusively reserved just to the pu'er tea. So it's possible that, in another 5 years or another 10 years, we could start seeing a change in color in the tea as well as the liquor. And that could be exciting. I haven't been in the business long enough to start doing any of that type of evaluation on our teas, but time's flying so fast already. Before I know it, we'll be able to do those types of evaluations. We'll have teas that have been um, stored and aging for that long. See, so on that sip, I got that reminiscent kind of high floweriness that I was used to in this tea before. So it's kind of interesting. This it seems to be kind of going through some waves and changing. We'll see how it does in the other steeps. There's definitely no off characters to it. There's no sourness. There's no kind of fishiness to it, which look, we're drinking tea now. We're not taking a break. I was taking a break this weekend, but now we're drinking tea. I gotta fix that. Um, yeah, definitely no sourness, no astringency. I do remember this tea having a little bit of astringency when it was brand new when we first brought it in. So that is kind of an advantage. Um, there are other teas that their changes over time, maybe more negative. Matcha is the most obvious one, and that is one that we definitely do have to keep rotating fresh. Even before the pandemic, here in our warehouse, we never kept more than a 3 month stock because we knew we had to airship over a new order every 3 months to keep it fresh like that. And thank goodness, through this pandemic, our matcha demand has continued. So, we haven't been hit too hard on, not knowing if our matcha is going to move or not. But, the main difference that you'll see with matcha is oxidation in the color. So that'll be the first thing that you'll see is the bright, vibrant green color, even if it's in a airtight container, and even if it's in the freezer, you will see that change happen over time. So Tommy says that a Baimudan cake from 2005 he has developed a faint muscat, raisin, and low apricot fruitiness. So you said that. I guess that was it. Walnut shell woodiness. I like that description. That's a good way to put it. So yeah, I guess similarly here, this white tea has also developed a kind of light fruitiness. I mean, you're saying apricot, so that's that low fruitiness. But of course, your tea is a bit older, so I would think that the sweetness and the fruitiness that I'm identifying in this tea will change over time to become more stone fruit, like deeper. It's like caramelization. The more you caramelize sugar, the deeper the sweetness becomes. Thank you, Tommy, for chiming in that input. Okay, you can see the color. It is coming out a little bit darker. I mean, I did brew it a little bit harder this time, so that's to be expected. But I remember when this tea was fresh, it was very light in color when brewed. So, this is probably an effect of age that this color has changed. See it? Definitely darker than the first steeping I showed you guys. But still quite a bit of pubescence you can see in there. Definitely having stronger aromas, but I think that might just be a factor of my brewing recipe that I used for this steep. So now that I've kind of gotten through the majority of what I wanted to talk about during this part, I did put the link up that you guys can join in. I'll put it here across the comments. If you guys want to join and get social with me, would love to catch up. You can just come to this link and it'll take you to a Zoom room. Yeah, Tommy or anybody on Instagram, if you want to join, that link is bit.ly/tealetteaparty. And yeah, it'll just take you to a Zoom room and voila, you'll be right here with me and we can chat and catch up. Sometimes it's nice to be social. I've been social with my family all weekend long, which has been nice. I've been used to my weekends being very lonely, just me and Bitcoin, cooking food and hanging out. But I didn't get to socialize with any tea people other than my brother. My brother did come in from Austin, and so I got to see him. So anybody who's wondering, Michael's doing fine. He's quite happy and very safe and very healthy. But yeah, we didn't spend much time sitting around drinking tea. My family's not really big into the tea. So yeah, this is going to be my first tea people socializing since the virtual tea festival. Hi, Oolong Lady. What's your name so I know how to address you when I say hi instead of calling you Oolong Lady, which I do love that name. If you want me to keep it at that, I will. I was checking out your profile the other day. I think I saw that you just followed us or commented on something, and so I clicked and I'm like, oh, I saw you're relatively new. I am drinking a Baimudan style tea from India from 2012. And the purpose of drinking a tea, Jessie or Jess? Jessie. Nice to meet you, Jesse. The reason why I chose to drink this tea today is because I was talking about in my industry update portion of today's live session. I was speaking on the challenges in our supply chain for tea this year. That oh, Nick is here. Oh, yay! I haven't seen Nick in a while. It'd be so nice to catch up with him. Um, yeah, so there could be some challenges in our supply chain this year or in the coming months, and so I wanted to build some encouragement around. Hey, Nick. Hey, uh, Mr. Taxi Man. Let's see. Ah, very good. Very nice. Yeah, I don't know. Your volume is not coming through. I don't I don't think you're muted. Maybe it's my volume. You're going to create all kinds of crazy feedback with that. Yeah, I have all of my volumes up. I don't know, maybe your audio. Nick, I want to hear you. There we go. There we are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but hey, turn your Instagram off.
Okay. Gonna create some kind of weird wormhole situation. Yeah, what's up?
Oh man, craziness. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. Happy belated Mother's Day for everybody who's watching, I guess.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, thanks for those wishes. That's really important. Did you get to spend some time with your mom?
I had some of the best quality time with her I've had in a long time.
I'm happy to hear
That
that.
was really good, yeah.
I am very happy to hear that. Good for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent some quality time with my family as well. It had been like since Christmas, pretty much, since we had been all together like that. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard you talking about both your parents and your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all good. I even saw my brother. Yeah, he came around.
Yeah, cool.
Spent some time around the pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been craving a pool. Everybody's craving a pool right now.
Well, you know what? It's not as hot as it could be right now.
I guess you're right. It is bearable. I went hiking the other day.
Yeah.
Out in like Sloan Canyon out in Henderson.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called, Sloan Canyon. But yeah, it was hot, but so long as you're hydrated, it's bearable and you can get some really good sun.
Definitely. Yeah, and the sun is good right now all around, for the immunity and for your own energy, your own personal energy.
Oh yeah, I felt so uplifted.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. So, your new hairdo, are you liking it?
Yeah. I fucking dig it.
Did you do that yourself?
I did, actually. I didn't do too
talented.
bad. Huh?
Keep the lines straight, yeah?
Pretty good lines. Last time I shaved my head, I was like messing around and I kind of cut it there and then I just like shaved it all off, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking to myself later, man, I probably could have left a mohawk. And then so just 2 days ago was that next time. Cool. I'm going to go for it. Yeah. If there's ever been a time to rock a mohawk, it's right fucking now.
Yeah. Yeah. Very appropriate fucking, yeah. Oh, it's good to see you. Yeah, it's been a long time, Nick.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
Yeah, I haven't really done like the Zoom thing, chatted on the phone or anything.
Yeah, I've been spending the time pretty well. I've been taking it easy here and there, but I've also working and just started the sax.
Okay, yeah, so I saw you posted that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a lesson with Justin tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Awesome. Even though he claims that no one can stay focused enough on it.
we'll see.
You
We'll
got to
see
prove
about
him
that.
wrong, Nick.
So this one is my neighbor's, the one I have now. I'm borrowing it from the neighbor, and he doesn't play it too often. So he said I could borrow it because I was getting the sound out of it, which is hard enough to do on your first couple of tries
Yeah.
anyway. I'm still getting the hang of that too, and finger placement and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a natural at it so far.
Cool.
So could be good.
Nice. Well, that's good for Justin. Employ
Yeah,
him in
yeah, I
some
figured
way.
too. I put it all together later after he posted that. I was like, oh yeah, I could, support each other here,
But he said it takes a couple of years of focus, so you gotta make sure you got the budget for that.
Well, I think I have particular feelings about education, and I feel like it's really important to be dedicated to one's self education. Right? That doesn't mean you don't have teachers, but you have to know what you need to learn. At least I feel that way. Like I need to kind of go into, say, a sax lesson with Justin with sort of a plan
Mm-hmm.
of my own, rather than rely on him for what he's going to teach me. Like I kind of need to know what I want to learn over the next year, so that I can kind of get a head start on, you know, just foreseeing what I'm practicing for.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm happy
Cool.
about it.
Cool. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to grow out your mohawk and get yourself a Kenny G haircut when you start getting really serious about it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get a perm. It'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been busy too. The time's just going so fast. I'm sure for some folks it's not. And I think there's a lot to be said about, keeping yourself busy to help make the time go fast. But for me, the past couple of months has just flown right by, even though
Yeah, I
it,
feel you.
it hasn't
And
been.
even this whole thing with, isolating, that it seems like now that things are starting to go into phase one, it seems like, oh man, it's already over. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I got bored of television a couple of weeks ago, with the exception of Little House on the Prairie. So
Really, of all things to bore you, it wasn't Little House on the Prairie.
such a wholesome show. Such a wholesome show. Yeah. I'm catching up on 50 years of television, so
Yeah.
starting from the early days.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know what
Yeah,
else
and
is really good?
Pa worked at a lumber mill.
Yeah. Oh, so is that what's inspired you to do all your
That's an
woodworking
inspiration.
now?
I was trying to think about it. What kind of gave me this inspiration to like go to Home Depot and get a bunch of tools and start watching videos on how to build like modern furniture and stuff like that. I don't really know what happened. It's always been something I wanted to learn for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have the common sense knowledge of tools and things like that through working with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a handyman. He was a bartender, wasn't a carpenter, but anything he needed done in the house, he would do himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
So
that's
actually,
good.
like,
Your dad would be happy to hear that you're pursuing this, I'm sure.
yeah, and it's kind of bittersweet too because the saxophone was one of his favorite instruments to listen to. So it's like one of those things, like, oh man, if you could see me now.
Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to, practice in his honor,
Yeah,
play in his honor for
yeah,
sure.
I definitely do. I do most things in his honor now. Yeah.
That's really good to hear. Are you drinking tea?
I'm actually drinking mate right now.
That's okay.
Got my little straw with my cup.
Wait, so your straw? So you have one of the metal straws?
Yeah,
You're just using
yeah.
you're just using a different cup.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Because the gourd is the traditional way, but
yeah,
it's kind of needy. You have to like clean it right away. You have to dry it right and all this stuff. But I can accidentally leave my mate in this porcelain cup and it's fine.
but according to our mate expert that presented about mate from Brazil on the virtual tea festival, she says that the gourd is really important for the flavor in the mate. It's like a yixing pot with different teas, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. I
Hmm.
can see that. I guess this is my phase for experimenting with what isn't the most ideal.
Hmm.
I'll probably go back to the gourd soon now that you said that and really taste the difference. Like, oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah, try
yeah.
it out. Try it out. And actually, you should listen to Danny's presentation.
That's all recorded.
It's all recorded and it's all on that website, tlet.com/VTF.
Okay.
Yeah, all the presentations are there. She talks about the folklore of mate, like where, the whole story of like how the herb was discovered and yada
That's
yada.
cool.
And then she talks about the processing of it. Um, and then she talks about the way to drink it. And yeah, of course, she said the gourd is the most important, part of properly drinking it and getting the full flavor and experience out of it.
Nice.
Yeah. It was funny. She like called out all foreigners saying that we're not drinking it right. I said, no. She had some point to it because she's saying that
Yeah.
the majority of the mate that's being sold in North America, in Europe, is being in blends. Where they'll blend it with different herbs or different flavors.
Yeah, I
And
was even seeing Brisk has their own line of mate. Like,
yeah, like a ready to
like going
drink.
there, I'm like, this is becoming this kind of thing now. That's strange.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I've known it to be like through Guayaki and companies like that who will sell like a more palatable drink for the public, like in cans, flavored and stuff. But they also sell like the raw leaf.
So I guess like a ready to drink mate, like a cooled version of ready to drink mate, is very popular in Brazil, and
Okay.
it's a really common vendor product on the beaches.
It's so good. Like, it makes sense.
With like lime. She says it's like, served ice cold with lime.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then you can drink it hot. It's kind of more ceremonial when it's in the gourd like that to share, pass around and share with your friends. Yeah, I've got to go to Brazil and check it out. She was even saying, because she had like a mate producer on with her doing the presentation,
Mm.
and she was saying that she's working with that producer in developing some like new styles of processing the mate leaf rather than just like harvesting and drying and potentially roasting if it's the roasted type, because it's either green or roasted, and so it's a very simple process, but that she's working with them on trying to apply some additional like oxidation steps and additional like shaping steps similar to tea, to try to bring out new characters and flavors and qualities to the mate.
Did she talk about how long it's been in production? Because it doesn't seem like it's really hit the American market until a few years ago. Or at least
Well,
that's
yeah. She talked about it really hasn't expanded out of Argentina or Brazil, until just recently. And then from her perspective, she says that it's like all going into blends. And I told her no, like there are like Latin American markets where you can get the gourd and the straws, and like people are exploring it. I mean, you
yeah. Let
obviously.
me be evidence of that. I mean, I have a gourd in the kitchen. I'm drinking it kind of wrong, but I'm just drinking leaf and water.
Yeah. So I reassured her that there are people that are interested, and it's not, just this appropriated thing that we want to take advantage of. So she was happy to hear that. But yeah, you should watch her presentation. Actually, I should upload her newest one because like we just did a rebroadcast of the Virtual Tea Festival, and on the first one we had some technical difficulties and she had to do it live, and so it wasn't as good a presentation. But I ended up editing together her video for Thursday's presentation, and that one looks really good.
Cool.
Yeah, terere. That's what it's called. The cold version, right? Terere.
Terere. Yeah.
That's the cold version, I think.
Yeah, they sell that in markets too. Here. I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually just had the thought that tea, of course, is probably older,
Mm-hmm.
being like a traded commodity.
Yeah.
But mate really could have the potential to develop different characteristics and different like families
Yeah.
of production, like
And
tea
not
already
just
has.
mate, like so many other
Yeah,
herbs.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
They just haven't been viewed as an art form.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Norwood Pratt puts it. He says that
Ah,
there's only 4 agriculture crops that have ever been treated as an art form. Um,
which are?
the grapes, tea, tobacco, and cannabis.
Huh.
Yeah.
Choc-
Um,
chocolate now
yeah,
is
maybe chocolate. You know,
coffee.
definitely coffee's getting there. So, um, you know, it kind of opens it up. You know, and but the only way that you were going to really see those types of changes is with support from the market, support from people
Mhm.
like you that are interested in that and are willing to, you know, purchase that and consume that. You know, like just a hobbyist that's just doing it with their own, you know, with their own production, uh, could be interesting. They could discover something cool, but to really discover something that could become a trend, there has to be a market to support that. There has to be customers to support that. So
Right.
yeah, showing your interest in those types of things will you know be a part of that support, which is always good.
Yeah.
You're
That's good.
by being like that. What I said, like by being a connoisseur, you're not a snob. You're an environmentalist.
I like that. Is that your quote?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. We'll print that on a shirt someday.
Well, because yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, you know, if you are a connoisseur, and the word connoisseur, I've talked about this on a past live session, and you know, I'll talk about it again because I really liked, you know, by looking at it from that perspective of like, what is a connoisseur? Like, what is the definition of it? Excuse me. An expert judge in matters of taste. That's from dictionary. Let's see, Merriam-Webster. One who understands the details, technique, or principles of an art and is competent to act as a critical judge, or one who enjoys the discrimination and appreciation of subtleties. Right? So,
That's a great definition.
right? That's the Merriam-Webster. That's usually the dictionary I like to go to for definitions. So if you think about it from that perspective, if you're a connoisseur, you're not just like a collector that's just like showboating your consumer abilities. You know, it's really all about your taste and your discrimination. And so you could be someone without a lot of money and a connoisseur. It doesn't they're not like exclusively, you know, mutual with each other. You know, you can be a connoisseur and be a conservationist. Actually, you're a better connoisseur when you're a conservationist because you're super hyper focused on very limited consumption. You're not, you know, just consuming everything and, you know, generalist on everything. And, you know, oh, I'm a connoisseur because I have this wine collection just because I have the money for it. It's like you really value those things. And
Yeah, and actually, Oxford, Pocket Oxford, says a person with great knowledge and appreciation of something. I think appreciation is the element there too.
yeah, appreciation, value.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to be rich. It just means you have to appreciate. So, um, you know, if we start using the word connoisseur in like environmental conversations or in discussions, it can be very powerful. You know, so
Mm.
that's why I say that quote all the time. It's like, don't be afraid to be a connoisseur. Like, it doesn't mean that you're a snob. It could mean that you're actually just mindful and appreciating the subtleties of the things you consume, as well as the subtleties of the places where they come from, too. Freaking snob, Mohawk snob.
The connoisseur of life.
Mm. Yeah, that was your thing.
One of my unofficial titles.
Yeah, I liked that when you were doing that.
Yeah.
That was a fun summer.
Appreciating all the flavors that life has to offer. Some are bitter, some are sweet. And when you can learn to appreciate them all, that really says something, you know?
Yeah.
Something to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not that we have to take the conversation in this direction, but there's been a whole thing going on in the world,
Yeah.
and we're going into like a phase one
Hmm.
situation now.
In Vegas or
And
in Nevada
yeah,
and
and
certain places.
I want to have a conversation with people. What did you all learn from your time out? What did you learn? So yeah, that conversation needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's important. I'm saying it jokingly, but it's an important conversation to have. What do we all learn from this, and what are we going to learn from it?
Yeah.
What's going to actually change? How our lifestyle is going to change, and not just through we don't shake hands anymore. We just wear masks in public now. But
Hmm.
I mean, what are our values now?
Hmm.
Where are our priorities?
Yeah.
How have our mindsets been changed?
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking about that in terms of myself and how my priorities have changed and how my mind has changed, and I have some more thinking to do about that, but I'm looking forward to having that conversation with people.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking a lot about that actually, just over this past weekend, and maybe it's this whole phase one opening up here in Nevada that's like kind of got me thinking about it. Okay, restaurants are open now, like places to go and meet a friend to eat and drink together are open now. Am I going to do that? Am I excited about that? Like, I'm seeing other people excited about it. Like, where's my excitement about it? Like, I'm not so excited about it. um, but then, I'm also thinking maybe things will be very different, like once we're like really back to normal, and that might be like 2 years from now, right? Where we completely
Yeah.
move back to where we were
That
before.
sounds crazy to say, but it's not.
I'm not. Are you calling me crazy, Nick? Don't call me crazy. I'm not crazy.
I mean, it could be. It's realistic, though. I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
the
a
seed has
realistic
been planted
person.
in all of our minds, and
Hmm.
a lot of people are really fertilizing it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think my lack of enthusiasm to get back, to hanging out at the bars, which, I'll be honest, you know, prior to the pandemic, I was going. I mean, we would meet at a bar at least once a week,
Yeah,
not to drink heavily, but just to, socialize and meet. I'm just like really feeling like that's not something that I'm ready to be rushing back to. Not because I'm scared of anything, but just because like it's not what I'm valuing. Like, like,
yeah. It's a little distasteful right now too, with just the climate of people's mentality and the whole thing. But
mm-hmm,
I do like what like I'm not super stoked to go out either. I mean, okay, fine, things are open, and I had ordered takeout a couple of times the past couple of weeks.
mm-hmm,
Uh, and it was actually interesting. I got Greek food with my mom yesterday. I went and picked up some Greek food, ordered it over the phone, and picked it up in person. Their kitchen was rocking, man. And I was like, wow, you guys are really going here. They're like, yeah, this is our second busiest day, and like we made more. This is like our second biggest day as far as like income. Like, damn. Well then, shit. People are spending money and excited to go out and eat again. I guess.
mm-hmm.
And I guess a lot of moms probably like Greek food too. But I like what when I was talking with Jake about it. Asked him if he was like ready to socialize, and he said yeah, but he's also I really like this that he's just going to be more intentional about what he does and where he goes. You know,
Hi, Dimitri.
I'm gonna adopt that myself. To
Yeah.
just not just go out just because, but to have more intention and mindfulness in meeting up with people. And
When did you talk to him about that?
I would say that exchange was like a week ago, maybe not
Okay.
even that, just like 3 days ago, perhaps.
That's funny. Yeah, because mm, our friendship is a little on the rocks because of our stances on this.
Oh yeah, you're not alone.
Because I hardly even saw him. We saw each other a couple of times, but like we're best friends, right? So
Yeah.
like, but because of my stance, he would like go hang out with other friends and not tell me about it, and he ended up hanging
Hmm.
out with a lot of people, and not being fully honest with me about it because of his fear of my criticism on him. So that's why I was interested to hear
Yeah,
you say
I mean, I
that.
kind of find myself in the same boat. I'm seeing people on Instagram and Facebook like, oh, look at how many people. I'm not naming any names, but like, look at how many people I'm hanging out with. We're on the strip. Like, it's a posse of 10 of us, and look
Yeah.
how empty the strip is. It's like, guys, like, you can do that, I guess, but it's a little distasteful to be posting about it
Yeah.
when like, there are
Yeah.
people who are staying home for reasons, you
Yeah.
know?
I think it's important, that you understand what comes with posting about it, with being vocal about it. Um, Especially if you're a business owner. That's been a big point of contention in the community. And some business owners are like defiantly posting about it to like make. They say it's not a political statement, but it totally is. Like at this point of where we are, it is a very political statement
Yeah.
to let it be known, your stance on these things.
Yeah, maybe we just have a different definition of what politics are, but yeah, it seems like, oh God,
Yeah.
it's so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you've seen people like business owners being like defiantly like, oh, look at how I'm going out and touching things.
Um, yeah, yeah. There's a big thing going on with the Arts District, Main Street today. You should check out.
Today.
Yeah, yeah, it's on Facebook and Twitter. Some people got called out for their stances. I'm not gonna name names. You can go research it yourself and see it. People
Where could I find this info? Like,
just on Facebook.
okay,
Just I'm sure if you scroll enough, you'll find it.
okay, okay.
It's a big thing. Um, Thanks. Yeah, I like my filter too. I've been like playing with filters on my Instagram live. Every day I use a different filter. So today I've got like glimmering pink stars. I like it. Um, that's why like I haven't addressed it. Like I hardly have an opinion on it actually, to be honest. But oh, Dimitri, you're not in Vegas anymore. You're in
Yeah,
Moscow.
I did like 2 swipes and I'm already seeing
Okay, you saw
things.
it. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty intense arguments, and
Well, yeah, I didn't really get what the whole thing was just off that one post, but I'll peek around. And also, I haven't really put much mind into the drama of it all. I've just really been trying to do my own thing and take
yeah,
advantage of the isolation and all that. It's definitely an opportunity for a learning experience.
yeah, for sure.
You can see my some of my new pieces of art behind my shoulder. So I have
That's
this
your shelf.
scrapbook. Yeah, so I've only shown one other person this, like through photo. So this piece is by Alex Huerta. I don't know if it's coming up correctly. Yeah. That he created toward the end of last year. And I had these scrap pieces of wood and I made these to commemorate him.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Part of a ongoing series. Yeah. Things are flowing.
Good. Yeah, and you're finding customers for your projects.
I have, yeah. And one of the biggest intentions in learning new skills is how can I be helpful. I feel like knowing how to work with wood is an incredibly helpful skill at times.
Yeah.
So that's the main intention, to be helpful. And my neighbor has been talking about himself in his house and a couple of other projects, and my sister wants a garden box. And like, awesome! Like, this is less about like making money right now and more about learning how to be helpful and learning a new skill. And
Yeah.
money is definitely coming along with it too. So I've had a couple commission projects too. So
I'm happy to hear that, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still designing tea trays.
Good.
So I haven't really like built anything yet. I do like the one that you have right now. I couldn't necessarily build with the tools that I have, unless I
Yeah.
took a lot of time to like really chisel out that shape.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are particular tools that make it really easy to get those kind of bevels around your table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can build up to
So
it.
I'm like learning about those tools and what exactly I might need to do that kind of craft.
Well, speaking of Jake, you should, try to apprentice with his dad.
I actually asked Jake about that. Yeah, I'd like
Mm-hmm.
to talk with his dad directly more about that. Yeah, that would be really cool. He sent me a photo of some stuff that they were working on past couple of weeks. Some really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, some stuff I'd like to learn about. Especially like the Japanese joinery and like not having to use any screws, but making these
Yeah.
very intricate locking mechanisms for putting two pieces of wood together. It's fascinating.
Yeah, that's super cool. Super fun.
Yeah. Did I send you a video that I found on YouTube? It's like 20 minutes long about Japanese craftsmanship.
No, you didn't, but I've seen videos. Like
Okay.
I was on a flight one time, and there was this really great. And I was on a flight to Japan, and it was about Japanese wood crafting. And this guy built all of these toys for his son, including like a little like rocking horse, all
Oh,
without any screws or nails.
wow.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, this video I saw, this guy, he looked American and he probably had a translator with him. But he goes to Japan to all these different places, the region where they do like indigo dyeing on materials, like where they make kimonos and they practice like different like designs on
Yeah.
kimonos. He goes to like the city of steel where they make all these different chef's knives and swords and things like that. Inside of these people's workshops, and it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Indigo is pretty incredible. There's a tea shop in Brooklyn. The last time I was there, I was visiting. He had an exhibit with a Japanese indigo artist, and that artist had several of this of their tapestries and clothing. And boy, was it expensive.
Mm.
But it was beautiful. You can get indigo. Indigo is really popular in Senegal.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where Yusu's from. Our friend with the choral
Yep.
player.
Of course. Never
Uh,
forget. If whoever's listening, you don't know, and you like some world music, Yusufa Sidibe.
yeah.
Yeah, Youssoupha. Sidibe. Sidibe. He's really good. One of my favorite world musicians.
All right, I just put his name there so people can see it.
Sweet.
Dimitri from Moscow was asking about my brother, so I just wanted to give a little update on him since I just saw him this past weekend. So, yeah, he's in Austin. He's doing fine. He does still support TLET, so all of our media, the virtual tea festival, he's helped out. He's helped me with a lot of this like virtual stuff, like helping load softwares onto my computer to help me do the puppeteering. Have you been seeing my puppeteering, Nick?
No.
Yeah, I have a software that I can be a digital puppet. I have all these different puppets I can be, and so it like you don't see my video, you see this like cartoon, this animated character.
Oh boy.
Yeah, here I'll show you. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
No.
Yeah. I had actually posted a video. Let's see. I don't know if I can. This is the Spacey Blur, his set during the Virtual Tea Fest. Spacey's been doing a lot of live streaming.
Mm. Yeah, I haven't really tuned into his stuff, but I can imagine what he's been up to in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I'm screen sharing with you now. You should be able to see it.
Yep.
You still see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, I see just your browser and a SOM key industry update, but no videos playing. There we go. Oh, is that you in the top right corner?
Yeah, I'm dancing to
The turtle?
Yeah, well, I'm a dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
But I'm dancing with my tea mug and Wishan.
This is funny. Space between space research.
Yeah, that's Spacey's his moniker, you know, when he's DJing.
I can see up next. I can see your cue.
Yeah. Oh, you want to see that?
Fried milk 2 ways.
We could watch that if you want.
I'm good. I'll watch it later.
So, here, I'll show you a past video when I first tried out this dinosaur.
Oh boy.
Happy May 6th. I am reporting today from Origin. To give a
oh my
industry
god.
update. Yeah, so just playing around a little bit, you know, having a little fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's important.
I like how your nostrils are like right underneath your eyeballs.
It helps me breathe better, you know. It just makes the face mask really difficult to wear, though. That's the only thing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I've been my brother's been helping me do those types of things, you know. I edited my first video the other day, so that was a big deal. So now that I've done that, I feel like I can do them all. So
nice. Which software did you use for that?
Premiere Pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adobe.
Yeah, because we have the Creative Cloud, whatever that software, you know, for TLET.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I've subscribed to that too.
Yeah. So hey, that character animator software is within that. If you're subscribed and a member of that, you can use that software within Adobe.
Sweet.
I don't know if you have an interest in being a puppet, but
awesome. I saw this this Zoom filter where this guy, like, he brings himself a cup of coffee. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's like a quick like meme video, and this guy is like at the computer, and then he has like his duplicate come and like set a cup of coffee on his table in the room. Genius.
Yeah, the Zoom backgrounds are pretty fun. I have a friend that sent me a folder of all of these different Zoom backgrounds, and some of them are videos. They don't seem like a video. They seem like just a normal background. Like one of them's like a cafe, and it's like you're sitting at this table at this cafe, and the video has like every now and then a server comes out and like wipes down a table and then walks away, and then somebody comes and sits next to you. So it's kind of funny to do something like that when you're having like a Zoom meeting with your coworkers and they think you're supposed to be social distancing.
Right. Or they see you like mopping the floors behind you.
Tripping them out. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, Nick, what do you envision what your first socializing event or socializing outing is going to be?
Well, I won't talk about what I've been up to, but probably I don't know. Yeah, if a bar opened up downtown that we like going to opened up tonight, I don't know. Probably not anything like that. I mean, I'm gonna go do a sax lesson. Yeah, just becoming more intentional and mindful in my interactions. So not just, going out for whatever reason with no reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see myself going to practice yoga with groups of people.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you been practicing by yourself?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit, but not anything like a full practice once a day or every other day or anything like that. I'll just do like, my necessary stretches, but nothing like a full regimen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have been working out though. I've been, getting some push-ups and sit-ups in, pull-ups,
Nice.
hitting some weights.
How are the pups?
Oh, they're great. Yeah, nice and fluffy, fucking hair everywhere. But we've been good about cleaning it, so.
Nice.
Yeah, the roommate situation is really good. I like those guys.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, send them all my regards. Let them know I'm.
Yeah, definitely will.
My cheers to.
Yeah, Zippy says he misses you.
Yeah, I can't wait to have a nice party here when the time is right. I don't know if I'm gonna be like jumping right on it right away. When everything
like I said, even if you were comfortable with it, it just still kind of be distasteful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you follow the rules, then you're at 50% capacity, which means less people. I do have my first tasting scheduled later next week. But that's just one buyer coming in, and that'll be the first person to come through here, in the past few months. So it's kind of a big deal. Feels like a big deal.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you had people order tea and you've done drop-offs like you did with me?
Yeah. So I have a website now. I don't know if you saw it. Have you seen it?
Not a new website.
Yeah, it's a new website called teaanditspeople.com. And if you, it's got all of our whole catalog there. So you can see our entire tea list, and it's all by the ounce or by the pound. So you can buy in bulk. And when you check.
Teaanditspeople.com?
Yeah, teaanditspeople.com.
Huh.
And when you check out, it has the option for either in-shop pickup, which is free, or there's free delivery for local Vegas orders of $40 or more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been doing some deliveries. I launched the website 2 weeks ago, and did you find it?
Yeah, I'm on it right now, actually.
Cool. Yeah.
You can probably still see me even though I don't have Zoom pulled up, right?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm not really Zoom savvy yet. I'm late.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun putting that website together. I put it together in pretty much 3 days.
Cool.
Yeah. So, just so I could have a place, if people did want to order, because I was getting a lot of people wanting to order, and it was just kind of difficult to send the catalog to everybody and have them do, just email orders or whatever.
Yeah, so. You just send them the link. I like this section on tea trends. I haven't clicked any of those links yet, but I like that you have those organized as a little subcategory.
Yeah, I wanted the website to be more experiential versus just here are all the products you can buy. Yeah. A lot of tea websites, that's just when you land on the front page, that's all it is. I wanted it to be something that you can kind of experience and go through. And this website, I plan to keep going. I've actually had the URL for a year now.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is a book idea. This title is a book idea, and so this website will evolve into a book, but more than just a retail site, it's a community site. So it's where I'm gonna put all of Tea-Lit's community. So all of our social media is there. It's branded with Tea-Lit. It's not a completely new brand and everything. I see that. It's just kind of like Tea-Lit.com is our wholesale. That's where the industry is hosted, and then this is where the community is hosted.
I see.
So then if you click the menu bar at the top, there's the virtual tea parties, and that's every one of the live videos that I've done with all of the transcripts of the subtitles. I've done over 50 videos. There's over 50 videos in that section. It's pretty
Wow.
crazy. I can't believe how.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So these are also just your educational,
Yeah,
everyday videos. Cool.
yeah, they're every
I
day.
see you as a turtle for the 28th. That's funny.
Yeah, well, I was a tea pet that day. I was talking about tea pets. So, like, every
Oh,
day,
cool.
yeah, I've been, I have some type of education portion of the video. Um, and then, of course, all the subtitles are there too. So you can either watch the video or you can scroll through and read the subtitles.
Nice.
But the subtitles, I
Did
still
you
have to.
transcribe? No, you probably. How'd you transcribe them?
So Facebook and YouTube both transcribe videos now,
Oh,
like just
cool.
automatically.
Cool. With like almost 100% accuracy.
No.
Okay.
Anytime I say the word chi, it comes out cheese. But, for the most part, like, you can follow it, and the purpose, actually, I put all the subtitles in there is for SEO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that Google will be able to recognize those videos and kind of like the nature of the content in each of those pages.
It also, open it up to the deaf community too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if they wanted to read it. For the most part, things make pretty good sense. Facebook, I think, does a better job at transcribing than YouTube's AI system.
Oh.
There are better ones. There are like paid services you can run, and it has like an AI on your voice, so it'll actually like learn my voice, and will be able to more accurately know what I'm saying. My vocabulary and my style of speaking.
Cool. Hey, what date was the actual tea festival?
The first one?
Yeah.
That was April 9th.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one's not on that page. So that one is at tlet.com/VTF.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that has all of the presentations, each video laid out. Or you can watch
great
the full
on you.
stream.
Great on you for cataloging all of these videos.
Yeah, I thought it was important. I know
I'm
having
not going to tune in every day to what you're talking about. Like, it's just unrealistic. But that I can go back and listen to your talk. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I tried my best in like the blurb of each page to say what's talked about in each video. So yeah, I mean, these live videos were for the purpose of like fun and to like connect with my friends like this and just kind of have casual conversations. But over time, people had requested that I speak on different topics, and so they kind of evolved into like an education series. So might as well put that content out there for people to find.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can see the website and our full catalog of teas if you ever want to order teas or see what's going on.
Yeah, rather than like hitting you up directly, I can just look at the full menu there.
Yeah. And then you can check out through the website and get the free delivery or get, pickup.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it can be all like paid for by the time you come.
Sweet.
You don't have to pay for shipping.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I've still got all the teas that you brought me.
Good.
Earlier. Yep.
I'm glad they're lasting you.
Yeah, nursing them and savoring them. I mean, I get my caffeine fix like mostly through like mate, but when I want to like sit and really enjoy some tea, definitely go your stuff.
Happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna hop off soon. I've been on for almost a couple of hours now, and I gotta catch up on some work. But I'm glad you hopped on. What did you want to say? Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say that the only thing that I'm stumped on for making tea trays is the actual like bottom like drip pan. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll like shop for some of those and then like create the dimensions of the table off of that. Or make it myself, or even do the hose system or something like that.
You could probably make them yourselves. You can just like make a mold.
Say again?
You can make a mold and like fill it with like resin or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, or find something, find something that would work, and then yeah, make your trays around that.
Yeah.
I
I'll
don't
get
think
creative.
you exclusively have to use these style plastics here. You can find something that works for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
And thus far, I've only gone to like Home Depot and Lowe's for wood,
Mhm.
but most of their wood is like construction material. They
Mhm.
have some craft, but it's not as wide as like a particular like hardwood lumber yard. So
Mhm.
that'll be my next step too, is like going to check those places out and find like nice pieces of bamboo and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I didn't want to stick around for too much longer either. It
Cool,
was
man.
awesome
Well,
seeing you, and it was
yeah, it
awesome
was good to
talking,
see you
and I'm looking
too.
forward
Thank
to
you so
actually like
much.
seeing you and hugging you and giving you a handshake and all that jazz.
Yep. Soon enough. We'll get to tea together soon enough.
Yeah,
But yeah, Nick, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for jumping on,
you're welcome. Thanks for
keeping
having
me
me.
company. All
Yeah,
right.
you have a good rest of your week too. I'll see you
Thank
later.
you. Much
Bye.
love, Nick. Bye bye. All right, everybody. I'm going to tune off. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.